Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into the top 20 best Switch games you won't regret playing in 2025. Whether you're into story-driven adventures, fast-paced action, deep RPGs, or cozy platformers, this lineup brings together the most memorable and replayable experiences the system has to offer. These are the games that still hold up, still surprise, and still deliver that magic the Switch is known for. Let's jump in and break down the very best titles you should be playing this year. Unicorn Overlord stands out as one of the most rewarding strategy titles you can play on Switch, blending a grand tactical structure with a fluid sense of exploration that keeps you engaged from the first hours to the final battles. You move armies across a wide overworld, where towns, roaming enemies, and optional encounters shape your progression, creating a flow that feels both adventurous and strategic. Combat itself mixes real-time movement with automated engagements driven by a deep tactics system. Instead of micromanaging every hit, you set priorities, conditions, and behaviors for each unit, turning fights into puzzles built around smart formations and class synergy. With more than 60 recruitable characters spanning unique classes, you're constantly tweaking your squads, balancing tanks, archers, healers, and magic users to handle tougher maps and shifting enemy compositions. Resource management adds another layer, pushing you to decide when to expand unit slots, promote classes, or upgrade gear. As the campaign unfolds, new mechanics, battlefield gimmicks, and character interactions give the journey a sense of momentum, making every region feel distinct.
Brace yourself!
Does this suit you?
Witness the royal blade!
I am your shield.
Fire Emblem Three Houses remains one of the most engaging strategy experiences on Switch, thanks to its blend of tactical depth, character-driven storytelling, and a flexible progression system that keeps you invested for dozens of hours. You step into the role of a professor at Garreg Monastery, guiding a group of students from one of three distinct houses, each offering its own perspective and roster. The monastery serves as your base of operations, letting you explore, teach classes, build relationships, and plan weekly activities that directly shape how your units grow. Battles unfold on grid-based maps where positioning, terrain, and class matchups define every decision. Units can be trained in multiple disciplines, unlocking new classes, abilities, and advanced skills, giving you the freedom to craft highly specialized builds or versatile hybrids. Battalion support adds another layer, allowing units to command groups of soldiers that provide stat boosts and unique gambits capable of turning the tide. Combat arts further encourage thoughtful tactics by offering powerful attacks that trade efficiency for durability.
Give up. Weak. Did you underestimate me?
Try harder!
Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door remains one of the most delightful RPGs you can experience on Switch, blending turn-based combat, light puzzle solving, and a playful papercraft world that never loses its charm. Its battle system stands out thanks to timing-based inputs that reward precision. Every jump, hammer swing, or defensive block gains impact when you nail the prompt, making encounters feel active rather than purely menu-driven. You journey with a rotating cast of partners, each offering unique abilities both in and out of combat, allowing you to switch strategies mid-battle or use their skills to solve environmental puzzles across diverse regions. Customization revolves around badges that grant new techniques, stat boosts, or special mechanics, letting you tailor Mario's build toward power, resource management, or more technical playstyles. Exploration feels lively thanks to clever paper transformations, like folding into a plane or slipping through cracks, as well as hidden paths and layered secrets scattered through towns, dungeons, and quirky story chapters. The world is packed with personality, filled with humorous dialogue, expressive animations, and side characters that bring each location to life without ever overshadowing the sense of adventure. Hollow Knight remains one of the most captivating adventures you can experience on Switch, offering a blend of precise combat, atmospheric exploration, and a world that constantly surprises you with its depth. You explore the fallen kingdom of Hallownest, a sprawling maze of ancient caverns, abandoned cities, and hidden sanctuaries, each area connected through clever shortcuts and layered pathways that reward curiosity. Combat relies on timing and movement. Your nail strikes are fast but demand accuracy, and as you progress, you unlock new abilities like dashes, double jumps, and powerful spells fueled by soul, adding layers of flexibility to both fights and platforming. Enemy encounters push you to learn patterns rather than brute force your way through, and bosses often turn into rhythmic tests of patience, reflexes, and observation. The charm system adds personalization by letting you equip modifiers that change everything from mobility to healing efficiency, encouraging experimentation without breaking the game's challenge. What makes the journey truly gripping is how exploration feeds progression. Every newly acquired ability opens regions you couldn't access before, creating that classic Metroidvania loop where discovery feels earned. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, stands out as one of the most engaging tactical RPG experiences you can dive into on Switch, offering a deep blend of strategic combat, party customization, and a richly woven narrative set in the storied world of Ivalice. Battles unfold on isometric, grid-based maps where height, positioning, and terrain advantages matter as much as raw stats, pushing you to think several turns ahead rather than rushing into danger. The flexible job system is one of its core strengths, letting you mix and match classes to create specialized roles or powerful hybrids, with each job offering unique abilities that can be carried over and combined in inventive ways. Progress feels satisfying as characters grow through careful planning, unlocking skills that reshape the flow of combat. Encounters encourage experimentation, whether you're adjusting your formation, exploiting elemental affinities, or setting up combos that reward patience and foresight. Outside the battlefield, the game builds its world through political intrigue, character arcs, and small choices that influence your squad's development.
You're done for.
I'm sorry.
Metroid Prime Remastered remains one of the most absorbing first-person adventures on Switch, capturing that distinct blend of exploration, atmosphere, and methodical progression that has defined the series for years. Dropped onto the mysterious planet Talon 4, you explore dense environments filled with alien wildlife, abandoned ruins, and hidden chambers that gradually reveal themselves as you gain new abilities. Scanning plays a major role, letting you uncover lore, identify weaknesses, and interact with mechanisms that shape your route forward. The upgraded controls make movement and combat feel fluid, offering precise aiming alongside Samus's iconic tools like the Morph Ball, which adds a clever platforming twist as you navigate tight tunnels and uncover hidden paths. Progress hinges on discovering suit upgrades that expand your mobility or combat options, and each new enhancement reshapes how you traverse earlier zones, encouraging backtracking in that classic Metroid style. Combat feels grounded and deliberate, with enemies that challenge you to learn patterns and use the right beam or visor for the situation. Astral Chain remains one of the most stylish and inventive action experiences on Switch, blending kinetic combat, futuristic exploration, and light detective work into a single, cohesive adventure. You play as a member of a special police task force, partnered with a legion, a powerful creature linked to you through the titular chain. This bond forms the heart of the gameplay. You control both yourself and your legion in real time, creating a dual character system where positioning and timing matter as much as raw offense. Each legion type brings unique strengths, from agile sword strikes to heavy-hitting brawling or ranged attacks, and swapping between them mid-battle allows you to react fluidly to different enemy types or environmental hazards. Combat thrives on synergy, letting you initiate combos, execute synchronized attacks, or use the chain to bind foes, create openings, or reposition quickly. Outside battle, you spend time patrolling a sprawling cyberpunk city, gathering clues, talking to residents, scanning crime scenes, and solving small environmental puzzles that break up the action and add texture to the world. Exploration encourages attention to detail, rewarding you with upgrade materials, hidden encounters, and optional objectives that flesh out the setting.
Let's get 'em.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe continues to be one of the most enjoyable racing experiences on Switch, offering a blend of accessibility, depth, and pure chaotic fun that keeps it timeless. Races unfold across a huge selection of tracks, each designed with flowing layouts, sharp turns, and dynamic features like anti-gravity zones, where bumping into rivals gives you a speed boost. The handling feels smooth and intuitive, letting newcomers jump in easily while giving skilled players room to master tighter drifts and build stronger turbo boosts through precise cornering. Items remain at the heart of the moment-to-moment excitement. A single shell, banana, or mushroom can shift the balance of a race, while more disruptive tools encourage wild comebacks and keep every lap unpredictable. Vehicle customization adds another layer, letting you combine karts, wheels, and gliders to fine-tune acceleration, traction, or top speed depending on your preferred style. Whether you're playing solo cups, competing online, or enjoying local split-screen matches, the game's pacing stays energetic and welcoming. Battle Mode provides an alternative twist with arena-focused chaos, perfect for sessions where you want something other than traditional racing. Super Mario Galaxy and its sequel remain two of the most imaginative platformers you can experience on Switch, offering a cosmic adventure built around creative level design, tight platforming, and a constant flow of new ideas. Both games revolve around exploring small, planet-like stages where gravity bends in every direction, letting you run around spherical worlds, leap between floating structures, and use momentum in ways that feel both intuitive and surprising. Mario's moveset is familiar yet refined, combining precise jumps, spins, and environmental interactions that make traversal smooth and responsive. Each galaxy introduces unique mechanics, shifting gravity fields, transforming power-ups, times challenges, puzzle-filled structures, ensuring the gameplay never settles into repetition. The first game leans into a sense of wonder with slower, atmospheric moments, while the second ramps up the creativity and pacing, throwing inventive platforming sequences at you one after another. Collecting stars becomes the core loop, encouraging exploration and experimentation as you revisit galaxies with new objectives or altered layouts. Boss encounters are memorable without being overwhelming, using clear patterns and playful ideas that match the series' accessible nature. Octopath Traveler 2 remains a standout JRPG on Switch, thanks to its striking HD 2D presentation, richly layered world, and deeply satisfying turn-based combat. Set across the diverse regions of Celestia, the game lets you follow 8 distinct characters, each with their own journey, motivations, and tone. Exploration feels rewarding as towns, routes, and wilderness areas shift in mood depending on the time of day, and each traveler can interact with NPCs using unique path actions that let you gather information, obtain items, recruit help, or open new opportunities. Combat builds on the series' signature break and boost system, encouraging you to study enemy weaknesses, break their defenses, and unleash powerful boosted attacks at the right moment. This rhythm creates battles that feel tactical rather than repetitive, especially when combined with the flexible job system. Every traveler begins with a base class, but assigning secondary jobs and unlocking advanced roles lets you build specialized or hybrid teams tailored to your style. Exploration by ship or foot gives the world a sense of scale, and optional dungeons, hidden bosses, and character-specific side stories enrich the journey without rushing it.
Here I come. Allow me.
Hades remains one of the most exhilarating action roguelikes you can play on Switch, delivering fast combat, smart progression, and a loop that stays addictive long after your first escape attempt. Each run sends Zagreus through shifting chambers of the underworld, where room layouts, enemy groups, and rewards change constantly, keeping every attempt fresh. Combat is quick and responsive, built around a mix of light attacks, specials, ranged casts, and a dash that doubles as both offense and defense. The real depth comes from the boons granted by the Olympian gods, each one reshaping your abilities with elemental effects, mobility boosts, or powerful synergies that can turn a simple weapon into a devastating build. Pair that with weapon-specific upgrades and dataless hammer modifiers, and no two runs feel alike. Even failure becomes progress as you return to the House of Hades to unlock permanent improvements, strengthen relationships, open new story events, and tweak Zagreus' kit for the next attempt. The world evolves run by run through conversations, surprises, and character arcs that unfold naturally without interrupting the action. Kirby and the Forgotten Land remains one of the most charming and inventive platformers on Switch, offering a smooth transition into full 3D while keeping everything fans love about Kirby intact. Levels are designed with a playful sense of exploration, inviting you to wander off the main path to uncover secrets, optional objectives, and hidden Waddle Dees that gradually expand the lively hub of Waddle Dee Town. Kirby's classic copy abilities translate well into 3D, giving combat a light but satisfying rhythm as you mix melee and ranged powers, each of which can be upgraded into stronger, flashier versions that change how they feel to use. The standout addition, Mouthful Mode, adds delightfully odd transformations, like turning Kirby into a car, a vending machine, or other oversized objects that introduce new traversal and puzzle-solving possibilities without breaking the game's flow. Every world brings new mechanics and themed challenges, and optional treasure road stages test mastery of specific abilities in short, skill-focused bursts. The overall tone remains welcoming for newcomers, while still offering enough extra tasks and collectible hunts to keep more seasoned players engaged. Dragon Quest XI's remains one of the most polished and inviting JRPGs on Switch, delivering a classic fantasy adventure that feels both nostalgic and modern. Its world is filled with colorful towns, open fields, dungeons, and roaming monsters that you can engage or avoid at your pace, giving exploration a smooth, natural rhythm. Combat sticks to traditional turn-based battles, but adds just enough flexibility to keep things engaging, letting you choose tactics manually or automate routine fights while still rewarding thoughtful planning during tougher encounters. Each party member grows through a skill panel system where you unlock abilities and stat boosts that shape their combat role, making progression feel personal without becoming overwhelming. Equipment upgrades, crafting, and side quests add more layers to the journey, encouraging you to revisit earlier areas as your party grows stronger. One standout feature of the Switch version is the ability to switch between the modern 3D presentation and a retro-inspired 2D mode, offering two distinct ways to experience the same story. The narrative follows a traditional hero's journey, but gives space for meaningful character arcs, emotional beats, and moments of warmth that build attachment to the party.
Fight and fight some more!
Hades 2 builds on the foundation of the first game, while pushing the roguelike formula into richer, more tactical territory, making it one of the most exciting action experiences you can dive into on Switch. This time, you step into the role of Melinoe, whose style leans slightly more strategic and spell-driven, giving combat a different rhythm compared to Zagreus. Each run takes you through shifting regions filled with new enemy types, traps, and room variations that keep the pace unpredictable. The core loop remains fast and fluid, but now incorporates layered mechanics like Omega abilities, charged versions of your attacks that consume magic and open up opportunities for heavier, more deliberate hits. Boons from the gods return, but their effects often chain into spellcasting, summons, and support abilities that let you build a playstyle around aggression, control, or mobility. Weapons also feel more varied, each featuring distinct movesets that transform dramatically depending on how you augment them. Progression continues to reward persistence, allowing you to strengthen Melanoe, unlock new systems, and deepen relationships between runs without dulling the challenge. Super Mario Odyssey remains one of the most joyful and inventive platformers on Switch, offering an adventure built around curiosity, creativity, and fluid movement. Instead of traditional linear levels, each kingdom is a wide sandbox filled with hidden paths, optional challenges, and playful secrets waiting to be uncovered. Mario's moveset is at its most expressive here. Triple jumps, dives, wall kicks, and momentum-based tricks let you chain movements together in ways that make traversal feel smooth and rewarding. Cappy, the game's standout mechanic, expands that freedom even further. You can throw him to extend jumps, attack enemies, or capture creatures and objects to temporarily take on their abilities. These captures constantly reshape how you approach puzzles and platforming, whether you're soaring as a bullet bill, stretching across gaps as an uproot, or crashing through obstacles as a T-Rex. Collecting power moons becomes the core loop, turning exploration into a steady drip of small victories as you poke into corners, experiment with abilities, or master tricky platforming segments. Each kingdom has its own rhythm, visual personality, and mechanical surprises, ensuring the pace never slows or repeats itself. Hollow Knight Silksong takes the foundation of the original and reshapes it around Hornet's faster, more acrobatic style, creating a Metroidvania that feels sharper and more agile from the moment you begin exploring Farloom. Movement is a highlight. Hornet can climb, leap, and chain aerial maneuvers with her needle, giving platforming a vertical flow that encourages aggressive exploration and clever navigation through twisting biomes. Combat builds on that same energy, rewarding quick repositioning, precise timing, and bold offense rather than the more defensive approach of the Knight. Instead of Soul, you manage Silk, a resource used for healing and powerful skills, adding tension to fights since losing focus during healing can cost you the Silk you've earned. Tools and crests expand customization, letting you equip special abilities or modifiers that shift your combat rhythm, whether you want more reach, mobility, or damage potential. Farloom itself feels alive, with multiple hub areas, interconnected regions, hidden passages, and quests that push you to return as your abilities grow. Side objectives, NPC requests, and optional challenges give structure without sacrificing the freedom to chart your own path. Persona 5 Royal remains one of the most stylish and engaging JRPGs on Switch, weaving together a compelling mix of turn-based combat, social simulation, and character-driven storytelling. You play as a student balancing everyday life with secret activities as a member of the Phantom Thieves, shifting between attending classes, exploring Tokyo, and infiltrating surreal palaces shaped by distorted human desires. Combat is fast and strategic, built around exploiting weaknesses, chaining follow-up attacks, and summoning personas, manifestations of inner power that determine your abilities. Knocking enemies down opens the door for devastating all-out attacks or negotiations that let you recruit new personas to fuse and customize. Outside battle, your days follow a calendar system where you choose how to spend time, improving academic or social stats, taking on part-time jobs, or strengthening relationships with confidants. These bonds aren't just narrative flavor. Each one unlocks special perks that directly influence combat, exploration, or progression, making your choices meaningful. The Royal Edition enriches the adventure with new story arcs, characters, and quality of life improvements, giving this version greater depth and pacing. Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake breathes new life into two foundational JRPGs, preserving their classic structure while adding the modern touches needed to make the adventures feel fresh on Switch. The updated HD 2D presentation blends detailed 3D environments with expressive pixel art characters, giving towns, fields, and dungeons a warmth and depth that make exploration more engaging. Turn-based combat stays true to the originals, but now includes streamlined menus, clearer information, and faster pacing, letting you focus on strategy rather than old-school repetition. Both games introduce expanded mechanics, such as multi-enemy encounters, early access to useful spells, and smoother healing and inventory management, making progression more dynamic. Exploration feels more rewarding thanks to improved world layouts, optional challenges, hidden mini-medals, and secrets scattered through towns and caves. The remake also enriches storytelling with additional scenes, small narrative moments, and livelier presentation, giving the journey more personality without overwhelming the simplicity that defines early Dragon Quest. In the second game, a full party system adds variety to combat and character growth, creating a stronger sense of camaraderie as you unravel its broader quest. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 stands out as one of the most ambitious JRPGs on Switch, delivering a sweeping world, layered combat, and a story that grows more compelling the deeper you go. The continent of Ionios is vast and striking, filled with sweeping plains, towering cliffs, hidden caves, and colonies that each offer their own atmosphere and side stories. Exploration feels purposeful thanks to optional paths, landmarks, secret bosses, and small discoveries that reward curiosity. Combat uses a real-time system built around auto-attacks and arts, special abilities tied to positioning or timing, and each character's class determines whether they're best suited for attacking, defending, or healing. You're free to change classes as you progress, unlocking new skills and merging abilities across roles to create flexible builds tailored to your playstyle. The fusion mechanic, Ouroboros, adds another layer by letting paired characters combine into powerful forms with unique movesets, creating satisfying bursts of strategy and spectacle during intense battles. Outside combat, the game is rich with meaningful quests that deepen your understanding of the world and its cast, making each major narrative shift hit harder. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom remain two of the most ambitious and rewarding open-world adventures on Switch, offering freedom, creativity, and exploration in ways few games match. Breath of the Wild sets the tone, with a world that reacts naturally to your actions. Physics, weather, and materials all interact, letting you solve puzzles or combat encounters through improvisation rather than scripted solutions. Climbing any surface, gliding across vast landscapes, and discovering shrines tucked into mountains or ruins give exploration a steady sense of discovery. Combat encourages experimentation too, with weapons that break, abilities that manipulate objects or time, and environments that provide their own advantages if you pay attention. Tears of the Kingdom expands this foundation dramatically, with new layers above and below Hyrule, and a toolkit built around construction and creativity. Abilities like fusing weapons, building vehicles, rewinding objects, or phasing through ceilings transform problem-solving into something playful and open-ended. You're no longer just navigating the world, you're reshaping it to suit your ideas, whether that means crafting a simple raft or designing an elaborate flying machine. Both games reward curiosity more than direction, turning every journey into a personal story of small discoveries, clever experiments, and moments where system-driven surprises create unforgettable memories. And that wraps up our list of the top 20 best Nintendo Switch games you won't regret playing in 2025. Hopefully this gave you some fresh ideas for what to play next, or maybe reminded you of a few gems worth revisiting. The Switch library just keeps growing, and these titles prove how much variety and creativity the console continues to offer. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which game is your personal favorite, or which one you'll be trying next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.